Assalamu alaikum, dear brothers and sisters. Inshallah, as you are aware, that we have been doing a Quran campaign here in Australia, in Melbourne. Last year alone, in 2015, we were able to distribute 5,000 plus Quran copies in Melbourne alone. Every week that we do the street dawah, we have more than 100 copies of the Quran being requested by the non-Muslim Australians. So now, this year, you can see today we have a very full day. We got more than a dozen Dawah brothers doing the volunteering work here. And the copies of the Quran are going very quickly. So now we have decided to launch a campaign of 20,000 copies of the Quran, where we will be distributing it across Australia, and we want as many Australians to be able to have their hands on the last and the final revelation of the Quran. This is an opportunity for me and you, my dear brothers and sisters. Let's support this campaign of 20,000 copies of the Quran here in Australia. If we are printing one copy of the Quran, which is $1.50, so for this we need 20,000 copies of the Quran, which will cost us around $30,000. And this is the campaign. $1.50 for each copy of the Quran. So my dear brothers and sisters, be part of this campaign, be someone who has contributed towards it. Just imagine, for every person who reads the Quran, the kalam of Allah, the last and the final revelation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the way of hidayah for that person, you and I would be the pathway for them to reach Jannah. This way, I and you make our future, make our hereafter, make our place in Jannah, inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from all of us, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make our contributions accepted, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give hidayah for every copy of the Quran that we give out to another person to reach and come closer to the religion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wa akhiru da'wana anil hamdulillahi rabbil alameen.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters in Islam. Today I want to talk to you about a nationwide campaign that we are going to run very soon, inshallah. It's about Quran. The campaign that we have titled is Quran, the book that shook the world. Our target is to distribute 1 million copies of Quran in Australia itself. Now, just think about a moment that we can give out flyers, we can give out different pamphlets, we can give out different books about Islam. But the best tool to give dawah is actually the speech of Allah, is the book of Allah, is the Quran. So we want to emphasize people to give out Quran to the non-Muslims in Australia so that they can understand about Islam. So you can see over here we got a table full of Qurans. We almost distributed more than 200 copies just within last 1 hour itself. And in last year alone we have distributed 5,000 copies of Quran in Melbourne and around 10,000 copies of Quran in Australia. And there is heaps of teams, dawah teams across Australia. If you have been following us, you have seen us that we have traveled interstate to build up the relationship with the local dawah teams throughout Australia so that we can do a nationwide campaign about Quran. So please contribute towards it. All you need to do is sacrifice a meal. That's it. Because a meal will cost you $20, and that $20, if you donate toward this campaign, can help us to print 15 copies of Quran. So I want all of you to donate as much as possible so we can distribute 1 million copies of Quran. You can see that Ramadan is approaching. So in this Ramadan, we want to do this campaign, give a Quran in this Ramadan. If you got a neighbor, if you got any friends, if you got any non-Muslim colleagues, start contributing this project so we can help pushing to give Quran to understand people so that people can understand about Islam. So please join us in this campaign. You can see that there is this tablet as well that we have in our dawah tables, which will go across Australia. We will encourage the local dawah teams to set up exactly like this so that they can give out the copies of Quran. We will have a separate book about the miracles of Quran as well, and this live version so they can listen to the Quran. So help us to make this project a success, inshallah. Jazakallah khair.